Good afternoon. As you can see, I'm in an undisclosed location. It seems to be a craze for a lot of people to do their 10-year videos or photos, i.e., what I looked like in December 2009 and what I look like now in December 2019. Well, I have no time for that. It's all about football. And this is now my video for Sunny Unfilters channel. Basically, my memories of the last 10 years being an Arsenal supporter. I'm not going to go in any particular order, but a player of the decade for me is a guy from Spain, a current Spanish international, probably the smallest player I've ever seen in the pitch, Santiago Cazorla. I repeat, Santiago Cazorla, that's how you pronounce his name. An excellent player who we bought from Villarreal in 2012, and for me, probably one of the best two-footed players I've ever seen in an Arsenal shirt, who will comfortably get into the invincible teams, also the teams of George Graham, because the fact of the matter is that he was basically the brain of our side. You ask any Arsenal player, Mesut Ozil, you ask Jack Wilshere, you ask players who've played with Santiago, and they will tell you that he's the best player that they've ever played with, and he's the best trainer they've ever met. And that is a sentiment to what I consider to be the ultimate consummate professional. And it's one of the sadder times of my life as an Arsenal fan. One, when he left the club, but beforehand, when he got injured, to the extent that he had to have, he was out for nearly 2 years, and he had to have skin grafts because he nearly lost his leg. That is total commitment to the cause. A player that, whoever be in my heart. So my player of the decade is Santiago Cazorla. In terms of match of the decade, I'm going to go back to a game in the 2011-2012 season. It was the same day as the League Cup final, where Liverpool played Cardiff. But earlier on, 12:45 kickoff at the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal were visiting their top four rivals, Tottenham Hotspur, the North London derby. Tottenham were riding high during that period. You know, they had some fantastic players like Van der Vaart. They had players like Gareth Bale. Ledley King was still going strong. But, and I say but, it was one of the biggest resurgence. The reason why I've chosen this game is the fact that Spurs were 12 points ahead of us. They were clear favourites for that, top four place in the Champions League. And they went 2-0 up, goals by a deflection from Louis Saha, and then a penalty by our nemesis and former player, I believe was an excellent player, Manu Adebayor. And then, 15 minutes later, a goal by Bakary Sagna. And then Robin Van Persie scores one of the goals of the season. We go into the game 2-2. Spurs are shell-shocked. And then the second half was a bliss. It was a merciless beating we gave them. Firstly, Thomas Rosicky makes it 3-2. Excellent goal. And then Theo Walcott, who had a bit of a habit of scoring big in North London derbies and also scoring at Chelsea, scored two memorable goals. And the consequence of that is that started our resurgence into getting that top four place. We eventually finished third. Spurs finished fourth. But unfortunately for Spurs, that's where it went wrong. Because of the rules were that only the top four can get into the Champions League next season for the 2012-2013 season. They had the conundrum of Chelsea playing Bayern Munich in their own ground in the Champions League final. It went to penalties. Didier Drogba put the ball in the back of the net past Manuel Neuer, and alas, Chelsea took Spurs' place in the Champions League. What the combination of that was that Harry Redknapp lost his job because he was caught in the England job, because there were situations when Fabio Capello quit his job over the John Terry affair. That's another story. And that, enabled us to probably pay by the cracks and continue our domination over Spurs. Unfortunately, as we well know, that didn't last. That wasn't to last. My moment of the decade has to be Wembley, the 17th of May 2014. Arsenal gone 9 years without winning a trophy. We came pretty close in the final in 2007 against Chelsea. We also lost against Birmingham City. Let's not talk about that. That's my worst moment. And what's happened is that we finally got over the line. Goals by Santiago Cazorla, Lawrence Koscielny, and the winner by Aaron Ramsey, who went on to also create a massive moment 3 years later in 2017 when he scored a winner against Chelsea when we were complete underdogs. My worst moment of the decade, I was there. It was February 2011. We were hot favourites to beat Birmingham City, and I'm afraid Koscielny and Szczesny were involved. I'll leave it at that. Now I'm now going to wish you a happy new year, hopefully a better 2020 for Arsenal fans, and most importantly, keep the faith. Remember, the club is a star. No one is more important than a football club. You can get a line to the players, you can get a line to the managers, but remember, the club's still there, and that's who you pay your money to watch these games. Arsenal Football Club. Have a happy new year and a prosperous and hopefully 2020